way that they've bonded is really key to the culture of our running back room. But from an ability standpoint, he's really second. He does a good job of catching the ball out of the backfield. As you can see in the spring game, trying to get the receiver to get his way, probably goes the distance. He's got great vision. He's played a lot of football, and he's a tough kid.
How do he and I complement each other in your eyes?
Well, they're kind of similar backs in a way. Keaontay may have a little bit better top-end speed, but they're both very, very, very physical three-down backs that we don't have to worry who's in on what play, and that's kind of what we've always wanted. That's why when Vavae was healthy, he was kind of always that guy. He was. And I talk about that. I talk about pass protection. I talk about running the football. I talk about catching the football in the backfield, and those guys both do that very well.
When you talk about a 1A and a 1B, does it matter if the styles are different, or is it just best two guys?
Production. Yeah. Production. That's what we're looking for. When you're on the football field, our team is better. So I look forward to watching those guys compete. And as the Barlow kid is a pretty special young man as well. He also has all those abilities. And a guy that I've got to mention that came out today and really set the tone for today's practice is Kenan. He really came out and looked like a guy that's been here 3 years. He ran with some physicality. We got a very, very talented room, and it's gonna breed competition. And again, we want to get we want a couple guys to be able to get in. So the best two guys will be out there the majority of the time.
Speaking of Kenan, he didn't have much of a role last year. Is there an opportunity for him to change that this year?
Well, with Kenan, again, he came out. He had a great day today. As long as he continues to play like that, we'll find ways to use him. One of the things that I've talked to him about maybe is also in some of our spread sets, getting him out there and utilizing his skill set, his abilities.
When he misses the spring, where does he have to play catch up?
Well,
coming back to football.
Number one, he's got his ability to retain information. He has a great ability to do that. He's got great aptitude. He picks things up very quick. So that's a positive for him because he is missing a lot by not going to his spring. The biggest thing with Kenan right now is maintaining that weight and being able to hold up in pass protection instances because he's a game changer. 10-2 can get to that end zone pretty dang quick. He loves track, and I want him to run track, but we do miss him in this run.
Brandon Campbell's your only first-year guy, and he's here in the spring. And what have you seen from him so far, and what do you need to see from him in order for him to maybe get into?
Well, what I need to see from him is number one, if we can't protect, we're not going to play. We've had far too many busts in these first couple of practices. And a lot of that, these guys have been dealing with a lot. They've had summer school going on, not summer school ended yesterday. Now we need to study football for the next couple of weeks. So he's very good now with the ball in his hand. He's patient. He's probably our best inside zone runner. Really, if you go back and you watch the spring ball cut-ups, he's very patient and he has a burst that I don't think a lot of people know about. So with him, it's just we got to tech that quarterback, and it's my job to get him coached up. It's my job to get him up to speed.
What's the toughest part for young guys, freshmen, when they're coming in, as far as the pass protection? What's the toughest part usually?
Well, T.O. and scheme and system and what he does, there's so many moving parts, you know what I mean? And you've got to really have your eyes in the right places, because they go from a 3 down to a 4 down. Sometimes there's a 2 down, and you really got to understand what our calls are, where we're IDing, who the line's picking up, and where our protection goes. And then, for like today, we missed a couple of corner cats. You know what I mean? We got to understand that when protection, we may have 2-2, you may have edge-to-edge, but it's not a man. It's a pitcher, and that pitcher can change. They've got to, what we try to do, try to get them look at it like a quarterback. We want to look at the top down. You know what I mean? And if the safety's misplaced, boom, key. But that's a process, and again, that's my job. To get them coached up. Everybody says that they get on me for not playing running back, but playing quarterback. But I think that's key. I think that's huge because of the ability to see it out of a quarterback guy and get those running backs to do it. So we were good in that area last year. We only want to be better this year.
Where's Darwin kind of popped for you, and how much is you know, him having to miss these couple of practices?
Well, the thing about Darwin is it's very unique. I was worried about him just getting here in August, and I really just it slipped my mind. I forgot Sonny was there. You know, he's been at TCU for the last 2 years in Cumbie. Cumbie and all of us coached at Cumbie, and I coached together at Tech. So the systems were pretty similar. I was amazed at how fast he picked everything up. But the verbiage might have been different, but how we ID things in that nature, there are a lot of similarities. So really, he's a third-year guy, you know, because he had the red shirt year and then he had the COVID year. He may be listed as a freshman, but this will be his third year playing football. So he really looks like a vet right now. He didn't in this last 6 days. He hadn't had one bust.
When you talk about having the running backs kind of see things like a quarterback, do you have them do any specific quarterback training or training with the quarterbacks to kind of ID things?
As opposed to just learning my job. I mean, I want them to learn things conceptually. You know what I mean? And as you talk about the play, when we talk about IDing protections and things of that nature, I don't want you to just look at the point of the offensive line ID and say, okay, this is what I do. I want you to see the top and see why and anticipate it before it happens. You know, that allows you to play faster. As I said before, one of the things that we needed to improve on, we did a good job of protection IDing it, but it took too long. There are several times that we could have been out. And we could have created stretch. And when we create stretch, it takes the roll linebacker. All right, that window opens up from the quarterback, and you know everybody's getting on Kenan about holding on the ball too long. Well, heck, we get out, it happens faster. Hey, that ball's out of his hand. So those are the things that we need to improve on.
Thanks, Coach.
I got one more question. I know you weren't happy with the run game production last year. Maybe this was asked and I didn't hear it, but Seth was talking about how he had conversations, and I'm sure you all were in on this, about you need to run the ball to win a championship. Were there conversations immediately after the season where you guys got together and said we need to do better? And
that night, that night we should. We put ourselves in the situation to win a championship, and our lack of ability to run the football it's a big piece of why we didn't get it done.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.